Hi guys! So one of the biggest problems with social media that plays a toll on mental health in women and girls is addiction. I conducted a survey and asked women and girls of all ages 9 questions to help support my claims. The first question I asked was if they would consider themselves addicted to social media, and results found that over half of them admitted to be addicted. Next, I asked approximately how many hours a day do they spend on social media, and the results were shocking. The results found that 45% of women and girls surveyed are actively on social media for 1 to 3 hours a day. I myself would most likely fall into this category, and I predicted that almost everyone else would be too. But a shocking 54% of the people surveyed admitted to spending 3 to 6 hours on social media a day. Spending this much time on social media in a day is just one factor that leads to mental health problems in this generation, primarily in girls and women. Because people are spending so much time on social media looking at others, it is very hard to avoid comparing yourself. I asked if they find it hard to avoid comparing themselves to others on social media, and the results were very sad. 77% of the people surveyed said that they are victims of comparison. I was not very surprised with this result due to the amount of hours people have been spending on social media a day. An interesting quote I found by Michelle Drouin states that those who report higher levels of social media support report lower levels of depressive thoughts and feelings. I think this quote plays a crucial role in my argument because it proves that women and girls often let social media dictate how they feel about themselves. One of the greatest problems pertaining to social media is body stereotypes. It's almost impossible to get on social media without feeling envious or bad about yourself or your body. The media has created a stereotype that one must be thin to be considered beautiful. The media pressures women and girls to be thin and perfect instead of teaching them to be happy with themselves and their bodies. So I asked the people if the stereotypical body expectations has affected the way they view themselves and their bodies. Sadly, results found that 80% admitted to feel insecure about their bodies due to the pressures of social media. Now I want to bring attention to the millions of fitness and diet pages on social media. There are pages on social medias that work to scam people into buying products that don't necessarily work. These companies promise that this diet will make you lose weight quickly. For example, the other day I was on Instagram and I saw an ad for some dieting pills. These pills are taken 3 times a day after every meal and are supposed to burn off the fat immediately, assuring you that you can lose up to 15 pounds in 5 days. Many women and girls fall into these traps and scams and will most likely be unhappy with the results, which can lead to poor dieting and body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is a mental disorder in which a person is preoccupied with an imagined physical defect or minor defect that often others cannot see. Body dysmorphia is primarily common in people who spend a lot of time on social media. Body dysmorphia often leads to eating disorders, which can have significant health consequences and can damage one's mental and physical health. According to the results, a shocking 59% of the people surveyed have developed or know someone who has developed an eating disorder. Now, I'm not saying that all eating disorders are primarily caused by social media, but the pressures of looking a certain way on social media are a huge contributor to the feelings that may lead to an eating disorder. Cyberbullying is my third and final argument. Cyberbullying has been around for many years, and it involves bringing other people down while hiding behind a screen. In my survey, I asked if they have ever been involved in or witnessed cyberbullying, and the results were shocking. Almost 70% of voters have witnessed or been involved in cyberbullying at some time or another. One thing that people don't often realize is that both the bully and the victim are both suffering major consequences. People often overlook the actual bully and forget that there is always a reason someone feels the need to bully. One possible explanation as to why someone would bully in the first place is to gain self-confidence in themselves. Now I know this sounds really messed up, but I'm sure everyone has witnessed someone who has done this at one time or another. Because of the standards social media holds, people are constantly judging themselves and will never consider themselves perfect. Low self-esteem caused by the pressures of social media are one possible explanation as to why someone would bully another online. Now, one of the main problems with cyberbullying is that most people that are bullied are too scared to tell anyone, and they often bottle it up inside them. Bottling up these emotions can lead to serious mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, or even suicidal thoughts. Okay, so now that I've pointed out the negative aspects of social media and how they contribute to mental health issues, now what? Finally, I wanted to ask some general questions to help argue that social media has an extremely negative effect on mental health in women and girls. I asked them if they have ever felt stressed, anxious, or depressed due to the pressures of social media, and over half of them have felt one or multiple of these feelings at one point in their life. Now this right here shows exactly what is going wrong with social media. Social media is supposed to be a place where people can connect with friends or family near or far. But because of social pressures of looking, dressing, or acting a certain way, many women feel stressed, anxious, or depressed. Finally, I asked what social media site my peers are most active on. 90% of the women and girls I surveyed claimed that they were most active on Instagram, and 10% claimed to be most active on Twitter. The results of this were not too surprising to me because Instagram is the most popular social media platform within our generation. Instagram can be one of the greatest social media sites when used correctly, but can also be the most dangerous due to addiction, body stereotypes, and cyberbullying. Although there is not necessarily a way to solve these issues, they can be prevented by pushing that all women support other women and uplift each other instead of bringing others down or judging based on social media, by promoting that all body shapes and sizes are beautiful, and by standing up to victims of the invisible bully, also known as cyberbullying. So remember that social media is just a utopian world people create for each other, and it does not define self-worth or beauty.